As you may know, we've not seen President Donald Trump's tax returns. We've talked about this before. There are a number of reasons that we want to see them, and a number of reasons Trump may not want the American public to see the tax returns. This could include revelations about whether or not he has actually turned over his businesses to his family, whether he pays taxes or hardly pays taxes, whether his own tax plan would significantly help his own bottom line, whether he's as rich as he says he is, whether he's as charitable as he says he is. And it could also reveal questionable, it's kind of charitable to even call it questionable, but it could reveal questionable business ties to Russia or maybe other countries. And at this point, much like the Russia investigation, if there were nothing to worry about, Trump should be doing what he could do to make the issue go away. If there's really nothing to worry about with regard to the Russia stuff, you wouldn't see Trump asking the FBI to knock it off with the Russia stuff. If there was really nothing to worry about in terms of what's in his tax returns, at this point, given that nearly 3 out of 4 Americans want to see the tax returns, you would just see Trump maybe releasing the tax returns. The fact that he is not continues to tell us a lot about what might be in there. And a couple of weeks ago, I told you how U.S. Congressman Bill Pascrell, a Democrat from New Jersey, proposed to the rest of the House Ways and Means Committee that they use a law from 1924 to request Donald Trump's tax returns from the Treasury. And the other day, Bill Pascrell told NorthJersey.com, quote, "The American people have the right to know whether or not their president is operating under conflicts of interest related to international affairs, tax reform, governmental contracts, or otherwise. I told you last week that the Republican-controlled Ways and Means Committee and its chairman, Republican Kevin Brady, rejected the proposal, saying, no, that'll violate Donald Trump's privacy." Bill Pascrell didn't give up. He was able to bring an appeal of the decision to a vote among the entire House to potentially overturn the decision with a resolution that we are showing our television audience here. But earlier this week, just a couple days ago, when they took the roll call, 229 House Republicans voted to keep Donald Trump's tax returns secret. We have the results for you. Out of everyone who voted, every single House Republican voted to sustain Brady's decision to conceal the tax returns. Every Democrat voted to reverse the decision and release the tax returns. Now, to be super clear, this wouldn't have made the actual tax returns public. This would have released the tax returns to the Ways and Means Committee, would have given them 10 years of Donald Trump's taxes behind closed doors. Then the committee would have been able to vote on, once they reviewed that information, once they got Donald Trump's tax returns, they could have decided whether to make the information available to the rest of the House, which effectively would have made the tax returns public. Democratic representative from California, Barbara Lee, tweeted just a couple of days ago, quote, "House Republicans just voted to conceal Trump's tax returns and conflicts of interest from the American people. This is despicable. This is obviously despite the fact that Trump is the only president, actually, probably the only major party candidate in modern history not to release his tax returns. This is usually sort of trivial, Pat, for presidential candidates. You just do it. 3 out of 4 Americans think the tax returns should be released, regardless of what Trump and Kellyanne Conway have told us. This is actually increasingly a signal to me that there's obviously very damaging information in those tax returns.
And Congressman Brady said that he wasn't going to recommend this because it would violate Donald Trump's privacy. But when you're president of the United States, you really have to give up a lot of privacy because you're a public servant, and not just any public servant, but you represent so much of what America is and the will of all of the people. And that's kind of why the Secret Service doesn't just allow you to go anywhere. And
Yes.
you have to face all these different restrictions. And this should be one of them.
Donald Trump let the American people into some of those discussions at Mar-a-Lago about the North Korean missile launch, deciding to hold those discussions, as well as with the Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, in front of people just hanging out on the patio. So in that way, Donald Trump has given up his privacy, hasn't he? Why did Republicans do this? Probably for a number of reasons. Number one, they might be afraid of what they'll find in the tax returns, and then they'll be pressured to actually take action against Trump as a result of it. Or those Republicans are running for re-election next year, and they don't want to alienate Trump supporters or Donald Trump himself And they also probably want Donald Trump to sign the bills that they put forward. What's the future of this? I don't know. Yesterday, the House Judiciary Committee voted on a resolution to demand the Justice Department give them documents that would maybe shed some light on Trump's conflicts of interest and ties with Russia. The committee voted that down as well. I don't know that we're ever going to see those tax returns.
Yeah, probably not. There's a long ways to go because this vote was completely on party lines, and you need to sway 45 Republicans over. And then even then, you have to get a recommendation from the Treasury Department. Steve Mnuchin is, of course, the Donald Trump appointee.
Yep.
You have to get the Ways and Means Committee, which is controlled by Republicans, to release it to the rest of Congress. I mean, there's a lot of steps there.
Maybe the hacking possibility is the most likely to actually reveal Trump's tax returns.
Yeah, I mean, hacking a president, I'm sure that's obviously illegal.
Yes.
But, it's out of the interest of the American public.
Your suspicion is right. It may be illegal to hack the tax returns of a president.
GameFly is sort of like Netflix for video games. They have over 8,000 new and classic games for Xbox One, Xbox 360, PS4, PS3, Wii, and a bunch of other platforms. And you can play as many games as you want for one monthly fee. And if you find some games you want to keep, you can buy them for a low used price. There's never any due dates or late fees, and our audience can get a free 30-day trial at gameflyoffer.com/TDPS. The games are shipped directly to you with return envelopes included. There's no contracts, and you can rent games through the mobile app. Get the free 30-day trial for the David Pakman Show audience and support our show by going to gameflyoffer.com/TDPS.